Coronavirus! I'm telling you, it's real.
Hey guys, it's me reporting live from quarantine. How are you guys handling COVID-19 and self-distancing? That's what I came to talk to you guys about today. I want to talk about the things that I have learned since I've been, self-distancing, and then also just since we've experienced this whole coronavirus thing. So, pandemics are not something that have affected people so widely. I think the biggest pandemic of my era is probably AIDS and HIV, which was definitely a big pandemic, especially if you were born in the 80s, because the 90s are when people felt more comfortable talking about contraception, safe sex, stuff like that. But this is like a pandemic that you don't even have to get frisky for. Like literally breathing, existing puts you at risk. And so it's kind of, surreal, a bit scary. But there are some key things that I've learned specifically about my lifestyle that just dawned on me since we've been dealing with the coronavirus, and I'm going to share them with you guys. So stay tuned. Okay, so what I've learned during the coronavirus is I am a self-distancer by default. Like, I primarily work from home, which affords me the blessing of being able to keep my kids home from daycare. So we really don't do a lot of socializing on a weekly basis. We go out on the weekends a lot. We go like to different events. We travel quite a bit, like interstate or in the state. But besides that, we don't like have a day-to-day routine where we're around a lot of people. And I think I take for granted how much that has helped me preserve our health and keep my kids from getting sick. I knew that would be one of the biggest benefits from me working from home, was that my baby wouldn't have to go to daycare and he wouldn't get sick as much. My son, my oldest son, my 3-year-old, has been sick. He had an ear infection, strep. He caught strep when he was 2 after we went to a trampoline park for a birthday. And he had a slight cold maybe a month ago. And in his little 3 years, that's all he's ever experienced as far as being ill. And so I take for granted, I think sometimes, how much of a social distancer I am already, and how that's allowed me to keep myself and my kids healthy. I think that social distancing also helps me to be more, more of a self-preserver in a way. Like, I don't have to be so crazy about germs and the environment, because I'm always in my house, and as long as I keep my house clean, I'm good. When we do have visitors, we clean up, we wash afterwards, and we go about our day. So it's really something that I didn't realize I'm a social distancer by trade, and I kind of love it. Another thing that the coronavirus has taught me is how important it is to vaccinate. So I'm a vaxxer. People have their opinions. My mom vaccinated me. I'm going to vaccinate my children. What I do alternatively, though, is I delay the schedule of the vaccination for my boys, so they never get more than 3 vax at a time. Some of the schedule, it'll call for them to get like 6, 7 vaccinations at one time, and I think that's kind of excessive for a little baby with a little, a little fresh immune system. Even my toddler, I think that's a lot for him. So that's something that I loved about my pediatrician, is she allowed me to devise my own schedule. I didn't even like take a schedule offline. I actually looked at the vaccinations. I looked at all of the data, what people said the risks were, popular opinion, scientific fact, and I just came up with my own schedule for my boys. And my 3-year-old's vaccination schedule is the same schedule that I'm following with my newborn. So I think coronavirus is really putting that into perspective for me. Like, there's so many illnesses out here that your children and you can be exposed to that don't always have a cure right away, or have not been researched thoroughly. It could be a new strand, and you're really at the mercy of that illness and doctors, and that's not a fun place to be. And so I think it's important to vaccinate. Now, these are your children, do with them as you wish, but for me, this whole situation is really making me feel good about vaccinations. We do flu shots, and it's kind of weird because I am a self-distancer, but this is just a big part of the way I was raised. My mom is big on, you know, better safe than sorry. Let's catch it up front. Let's be proactive rather than reactive. And so that's much of the same model that I'm following with my boys. Like, I get the flu shot, I get it while I was pregnant, and they get it every year as well. And then another thing is, this was the biggest thing for me. My air conditioner just went off, if you can hear in the background. Staying ready so you don't have to get ready. So I was one of those people who ran out to the stores, but luckily I have the luxury of working from home. So I was actually on a call with one of my clients for work, a mom, and we were talking about what was going on, and that's how I found out that the schools are closed. I was like, well, how are things going with school? And she was like kind of perturbed. She's like, I have to figure out something for daycare. The schools are closed. And I had already told Troy, if HISD closes the schools, we need to go to the store, which is kind of backwards in hindsight because I should have been ready before then instead of running to the store with the masses. But luckily I went in enough time. I found out in an instant and I went straight to the store where I got a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff missing, like the frozen vegetables aisle was depleted. But I don't ever want to experience that anymore. The importance of stocking up on specific things, just like beside grocery, like, you know, the madness with the toilet paper and all of that, just making sure you have that on hand. It makes me want to be a couponer, just so I don't have to rush out into the madness with the people and, you know, or have nothing in my family not be able to do our because we don't have it readily in the house, or we were on our last 2 rolls and there's no more at the store, or we are on our last case of water and there's no water on the south side of Houston. Like, I don't need to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. That's something that I already implemented, like with my diapers and wipes for my newborn. I was one of those parents, like, if I'm running out of diapers, I'm gonna go get more. But I stopped doing that. I started ordering them through Amazon and getting bulk mass amount of diapers just because it's a headache. And with 2 little ones, you know, it was easy when I was by myself to just run to the store, run in and out. Then with Troy, it was like my baby. It was like, okay, I just got him. But with 2 little ones, I don't want to go to the store, especially not for one thing. So just the importance of always having the necessities in my house is something that the coronavirus has really exposed me to. Like, I should have been doing this. Besides that, how important it is to have a hobby. So this is a hobby for me and something I enjoy doing, like editing my videos, shooting my videos, brainstorming on content is a hobby. And then also, I always was a big reader and I had gotten away from that. And so this year in 2020, that was one of my priorities, is just to begin reading more. And so when it was time to self-distance, I already had 2 books in my house that I could read. And I already had, you know, plans to shoot content, edit content, do stuff like that. So the importance of, you know, being able to occupy your time with things that'll help enrich your life, having healthy hobbies. Also, we got like a little home gym in the garage, so I don't really depend on a Planet Fitness or 24-hour fitness for my health needs. I can just go to my garage and work out. But just the importance of having those kind of things in home, hobbies, and the option to, if you're into health and fitness, work out at home. That really opened my eyes to that too. Something else I took for granted, like maybe 2 years ago, I would have been bored because I wasn't, you know, I didn't have any hobbies. I was a mom and that was it. I was an employee and that was it. But I've developed some really healthy hobbies that I'm so glad that I have now, because I have something to do. Like, I'm not just sitting here wasting idle time or wasting my time away. I got stuff to do. And also, this is the last thing, building my immune system. So I'm on a little health kick. I'm trying to lose my baby weight, and I have been taking multivitamins, and I think it's very important to take vitamins. Now, I was not raised taking vitamins, Mom, but once I started having babies, you know, you gotta take your prenatals, and so that kind of got me in that habit of taking vitamins. And so I had this Rainbow Light Women's one today that I finished. It's empty. It's gone. And also now I have Nature's Made multivitamins that I'm using. And I just think it's important to build your immune system from the inside out, not having to do vaccinations and everything and rely on that solely, but just having overall healthy lifestyle. And so I think it's important. My baby takes a vitamin. Everybody in here takes vitamins except for my newborn. And once he's old enough, I'm going to start giving him vitamins, like liquid vitamins in his bottles. But yeah, just building your immune system from the inside out, and just making sure that you're always in tip-top shape and be able to combat things that are viral, like colds and flus and stuff like that, you know. So that's what the coronavirus has taught me in these couple of weeks. It has been a doozy. I don't know what it's gonna end up like or how long we're gonna be socially distancing ourselves from one another, but I mean, I don't see the end near anytime soon. It might be a few months. So tell me in the comments things that you're doing, what you learned since the coronavirus hit us, and how you're occupying your time. What are your hobbies? You know, things like that. I think these times where we just have to stay home and be around our loved ones are priceless. And then I also think that it gives us time to really get things together. So if you weren't able in the new year to start something new or pick up something different, start on something that was on your vision board, this time of isolation and introspection is allowing you to do that. So drop down in the comments, let me know what you guys are doing during your quarantine, and I will see you in my next video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Be safe.